I don't understand what they see in them. I don't get why those two are together. It doesn't make sense. This is how people judge masculine and feminine energy. And I need people to remember that there are two sets of energies working together at all times to then become what we call one. I still say two halves that are interchangeably intertwining with each other, but for the most part, yes, we come as one when we come together in dating. So this is where I say it's important to know that you have to know how you balance your masculine and feminine energy in order to call in the type of partners that you truly desire. Welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So now that masculine and feminine energy has been popularized, because this is something that I've been talking about for years now, because as a gay man, people always try to put me in a box. You're feminine or you're masculine, this means this about you. And I had to learn a long time ago that I am, sorry girlies, but I'm a boy gay. I like hanging out with the bros. I like talking about random stupid stuff that doesn't make sense. It doesn't always have to make sense. I just like chilling. But I also can be a girl gay and hang out and just relax and talk about anything that we want to talk about, which is usually more emotionally driven. And I like that because I do emotional intelligence. But for me, when I walk away from this platform, it is really hard to want to keep talking about emotions all the time. So that's more or less why I'm a boy gay. But it doesn't mean that I don't love my girlies. But I had to learn that about myself because I am masculine appearing, but then I'm also kind of androgynous, so I have feminine energy. So when I speak and talk to people, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you understand me?" And it's like, yes, I have a very feminine mind where I think about how to nurture and help and create and be a part of community and source and love, right? That's the feminine energy. So for me, that's what runs me. But then I kept meeting other guys who were in their feminine as well. And yeah, we're masculine on the outside, but we just weren't matching emotionally because we were both always in our emotions. And so this is the same for straight men and straight women. If one is always in the other, then the other is going to have to become both halves of their masculine and be the masculine and the masculine. So this is where you get people who become feminine, feminine, masculine, masculine, and you have that super, super strong, big, buff person, doesn't matter which gender. And then you have this cute little petite feminine person. Those are the extremes of masculine, masculine, and feminine, right? But then there's people in the middle where you'll meet a very feminine woman who are very feminine, a very masculine woman who doesn't care about putting on makeup and stuff. Still takes care of themselves. Beauty is not because remember, beauty is not femininity. Beauty is still you can still be very masculine and beautiful. Come on. But what I'm saying is there's masculine women where like, oh yeah, like you can tell she can bust your ass, she can break your jaw, like it's kind of hot. But that's who they are. But on the inside, they could be also masculine minded where they don't care much about appeasing and nurturing. They like protecting and fighting and beating people up, and that's their thing. And it's all about sex and it's all about now and the very basic give me now. That means they're going to need a partner who's really feminine and dainty and wrist broke and don't want to fight, don't want to protect, just wants to be there and just have something to love on, and they get joy out of love and giving, right? That's the combination of masculine and feminine. And then you have people like me where I like both. I like to nurture and protect. And so then it becomes a search for energies that are like me where they can nurture and protect, which isn't easy because it's always going to be interchangeable. It's never going to be the same throughout your life. But in that state of being where you meet them, of who you are, you need someone who respects that and fits you because that means you're a puzzle piece. And if you fit together, that means you're going to blend together and everything's going to work in a different way, which is why people say growing pains. When you grow together, that means you start to puncture parts of each other where now you're just like, it's hard to pull apart. You are tangibly attached through fascia, right? You cannot get apart. And the only way to get apart is to sever it. And that's when it hurts. That's why breakups and divorce hurt because once you go through all those energies and your masculine and feminine have been unbalanced and they're not getting what they want, those energies dip, and then you're just left with the human avatars. That's when people say, how do you go from loving someone to hating them? Because once your inner masculine and feminines don't like each other, then it doesn't matter how much the physicals want to be together. This is where you get situationships and twin flame relationships of renter and chaser, because your souls have given up and they don't want it. And but your body, your avatar, it wants something that it thinks it likes, which is when you have to understand masculine and feminine can be a visual, but it's also, the visual is only a representation of the feeling that the emotional energy is, right? For someone to dress masculine means they feel that way. That's how they feel. That's just clothes that represents energy. Same way for feminine. If they feel that way, let them wear it. It's how they feel. It's just a representation because we have dictated what feminine and masculine is through clothing and colors. And that's why people stigmatize it when it comes to gender, because we genderize colors and things that are masculine and feminine. And it's stopping us from finding compatible partners because we're so focused on a thing we think we want, but we really don't know the true interpretation of it. Again, I knew my parents right away because they were the first example of how to trick the brain. My father, or my who was with my mother, very masculine, very muscle and man and sports and this, you better do this, woman. And, they giggle and laugh and it was cute. And you would think like, oh, she likes being told what to do. She likes being controlled. No, that was his play with her because he knew he couldn't tell her what to do because she was very feminine, appearing and dainty and long hair and makeup. And she loved that. But she'd be like, dude, try me. Like my mama, like she got that Cardi B mind. Like I'm cute and I like my body and makeup and stuff, but I will work you over if I have to. And so that's what I learned as I got older. Like, oh, my mom masculine, because that's a masculine mind to be like, bro, don't mess with me. And she carried her feminine energy while she did it. So I was like, oh, okay. Because most would have you believe that the woman's supposed to be weak and dainty and stuff. That's the patriarch. That's distorted patriarch, right? That's distortion to make you think that because this thing looks a certain way, it is that. And I was like, no, because when you're flexible enough that maybe I might look flimsy, but that means I'm agile and I can move around a lot faster than this stiff thing trying to move. So this is why I say learning the energies. When you know how those energies work within you, then the energies on the outside of you will then hopefully work together. So I always say, remember, you got to know that when you walk into a relationship, I'm me plus me. So I'm my masculine plus my feminine. And then I'm going to meet someone else's masculine and feminine. And in the beginning, you don't know who's who. That's all dating is. You're trying to figure out who's what and what they're about. And so that initial meeting is always going to be like, I'm going to bring my masculine because that's who protects me. So you're going to ask questions. You're going to be stern. You're going to get to the point. And if the person in front of you, their masculine isn't strong enough to see that, they will crumble and they're going to become a little boy like, ooh, they're mean. They're not giving me what I want. But a masculine who's done their work, no matter what, they'll be like, I see them. I got you. Because I'm soft on the inside, but hard on the outside. Okay, they gonna be hard on the outside, but they soft on the inside too. So I'm gonna make space for them because I know that I can handle what they're given. That's what the energies are for. So that's why when people say, why is there a thin line between love and hate? Why is love so much different than everything else? Because in everything else in life, you don't have to focus on love to accomplish it. But in a relationship, love is what connects you. It's not what holds you together, but it's what connects you. And if you're not willing to be connected anymore, then you have to be willing to let those energies go and then change your perception of what you feel masculine and feminine energy is because you learn something new from every relationship. Because for me, I was too passive in past relationships. And with each new journey, I learned I have to be more articulate in how I stand up for myself, which, believe it or not, I don't always do because I'm a lover boy and sometimes I want to give, but I had to learn how to give back to myself. Of course, not to the point that now I become a hermit and never give again. So it's all about balance. Know who you are, know what you are. None of these things are bad, masculine and feminine. Again, it's just energy. Learn to incorporate it into your everyday life. And I promise you the dating game and anything else you do will be so much easier. All right? Love ya. Mwah.